Hello everyone, it's me again, and this is going to be a construction of one of my pages. Yesterday, I forgot to tell you that we can stencil on the fabric as well too. As you can see, I've already done that, so that way I gave it a bit of time to dry. It dries actually really fast, but you know, just to make sure that it was dry before I start putting other objects on here. Since yesterday, I found other objects that have been given to me. This is a flower that Victor sent me once, and it's beautiful. It's going to look beautiful on one of these pages. And this is another little, it's a butterfly made from a friend of mine, and she even made, I got to put this on the cover of something. She even made a dragonfly. Now these are probably made for baptisms or something like that, because I know she makes them for her nieces and nephews. And every time she makes something like this, she gives me one. So I got this beautiful butterfly, beautiful dragonfly, and that I can use on my pages. A little bit of dimension, maybe the dragonfly, but it can be used on a cover. This instead can actually lay flat, and there's pins on the back. Actually, this one doesn't have one, but this one did. So I can just pin it right to the journal, and I'm good. This is the one I'll be using today. And then I've picked out, this is the let's say the center of attention. I've already added these beautiful leaves. I'm wondering how the lighting, I'm in a different place this morning on another table, so I'm hoping that the lighting's still good. So I've added these already too, to make sure that, don't, make a long video. And then I have different laces and things. I have this that I'm going to use. Now, if you remember, I have, who doesn't know, there's another video that's showing the journal, and there's pages already started in it, and there's butterflies from this type of fabric. That's all different types of fabrics and fibers and everything. And this is the piece that I cut away, and I'm going to be using it right here. So I've kind of already, looked at it to see how I want to go about it. It's more or less to show you guys too, because everybody has different objects and things like that to put on here, embellishments, to show you more or less how I do go about putting everything on. So these ones here, the little leaves, I just stitch them in some holes. They're not completely attached, see here, as long as they're laying in the position you want them to lay, and just give them another. It's so easy to put them on. Then I had this that I found around that I want to use up. I think that's, can never tell the right side of a doily. I think this is the right side. But you know what? It really doesn't matter. I'm going to put that there. And I already stamped this as well too, Made with Love. And I put it on an ivory fabric, 2 ivory fabrics, and I snipped the ends. As you can see, and this piece as well too, I just snipped the ends to put underneath it. That will be going there. So let me put this first. Okay, I remember more or less how to put it back together again. I didn't need to take a picture because that there. Let me lift it up a bit so that way you guys can see the bottom here. And I have this other beautiful lace ready too. I was wondering if I should yeah, I had that ready as well, but I'm not sure, because this is going to go right here, the little butterfly. This can end like that. I could put a little piece there underneath the butterfly. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, that's not too bad. I like that. I'm just going to pull it down a second to cut it. Just cut it a little bit bigger, and then you can go along trimming these things. Okay, so what I have done in the past is kind of stick them down with glue in just little, you know, spots here and there, and then go and sew them. Or not sew them at all and just do them with glue. So I'm going to, I wanted to see this thing here. If I turned it around, because then you can, to show more pieces that you want to show. Like I really like these threads here. Can you see them? No, you can't. Just the same. Let me see if I bring it down a bit. Yes. There. Just so it shows a touch. And now I know where I'm going to cut it. So position your things beforehand. Make sure, I do lots of mistakes that way too. I'm not thinking ahead of time and it just cut. That's it. Can't do anything about it. Okay. Again, just a little touch bigger. And these are scraps that you can use on other pages as well too. Okay, I think this is the first time I've ever done a video standing up. And it's kind of hard because, you know what, I should have brought the camera over here more. That's the problem. Okay, so I like this little bit of sparkle. I don't know if you guys could see that. This one here underneath has a little bit of sparkle. And that's the way I'm going to do it. Now, like I said, this is with a pin, so I don't have to sew it on. I'm just going to pin it on and take that away for now. Now the stenciling, I used a Deco Art, the color Jade, and then I used, it's a homemade stencil that I made from a die that I have. So it's just like a, you know, something that you would see in a garden. Now for now, this is what I'm convinced on doing it. Then, like I said, I would like to add more sparkle into it, so I'm going to be adding, I don't know, little, oh, what are those things called? Not even sequins, yeah. There's this little piece here that I really liked. Just a little lonely piece that can go right there. Or not. Oh, maybe down here. Let me see if you guys can see that. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So I'm going to take these off. I know where they're going to go. I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to take this off. This one for now. And just start. Oh dear. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. So just a couple of dots here and there. And it's enough to hold it down while you're working at it. This type of glue wouldn't be enough to hold down a project without sewing it. So, you know, you would have to use more. And like I said, you can even use a glue that's, you know, made for fabric and not sew it at all. Okay, then I'm positioning them on top of each other because I can sew them all together. So I think this was down here. Yeah, because I already cut it, so. I could have cut this away. Oh well. I didn't need the whole piece, but that's okay. Because you can't see it anywhere. Except for a little bit here. So I'm wondering if, just to show a bit more, here, I can cut that now. It'll take a bit to adhere, but at this point, I wouldn't be adding anything else and start sewing this together, so that way I know that will be, you know, nicely secured when I go on to other pieces. Now I got thread here ready. Just need a knot. And, you know, just to show you that it is so, I'm wondering if I should use, I had just normal thread. I'm wondering if I should use the green. how that would look if I basted it right here. Now you can position the thread on top to, you get an idea of what it would look like, and I'm really liking that. Yeah, so I'm going to do it with this. So you guys, I have to turn this, and like I said, sip of my coffee. Like I said, it's a really easy stitch. So I'm going to start, I lifted it up and I'm going to start from under here, so that way I'm going to be hiding, and I'm just, you know, poking through the fabric and catching on to the baiting that's in behind. Now this can be cut after, and I'm just going to secure it again, give it another stitch. Okay, actually I'm going to cut it now. Come on, there you go. That's why you need good sharp scissors. And I'm going to bring it up, both of the fabrics. I'm just, you know, holding on to an end so that way they don't come completely apart. And just start a very, this is kind of a bit awkward for me, you guys. I'm used to having, okay. This is why you need a bit of glue. I even have here, but it's a bugger because it's constantly getting clogged up. It's a glue base that you use it for applique in patchwork, and this really holds it down good while you are sewing it down, and it dries really fast. Actually, I should see if I can unclog that good and use that, because it actually really dries fast. It holds it down good. So here I'm going to be doing a little bit longer my stitches instead of the usual. You can see here these stitches are tiny, well, not tiny, but normal, and I'm going to make longer stitches on here. So I'm not that great on measuring, but what I do to make it easier, and probably could be wrong as well too, I just line up the needle, the space of the stitch that I want to do, I'll line it up against the last thread that's coming out, and just poke it through and try to get it straight. You know, you'll see if you're off, and just try to get it as straight as you can, and then come up as best as you can on the other side. See, that's already crooked. Can you believe that, you guys? I'm going to try putting it down. And I was showing you what not to do, and I did it. That's okay. That's okay. This is to have fun. I'm not going to, you know, yeah, I'm better doing it this way. And pull. This is what I was telling you about when you do need a little pair of pliers to help you pull your needle through the layers. And but this, I think it's going to come out, yeah. Because it is a thicker thread as well too. And these are threads like, do I have one here to show you close by the screen? They're variegated threads that I bought at the Chinese store, which, you know, would be like, not a dollar store, it's far from a dollar store, but you can find lots of, you know, little art stuff as well too. I've even found stamps, but they have, you know, wool and threads and things like that for very little, you know, and it's not that bad of a quality. I'm not going for, you know, making bed sheets with this embroidery thread where you would have, you know, you would want. I'm not an embroiderer, but so yeah, it kind of gets hard in some places. I just love the way these fabrics are hanging off. If I don't be careful, they're going to come off completely. So yeah, and that holds it pretty much together. I'm seeing if I can find my pliers. Here they are. Have them close by. But you can see how fast this is going as well too. You just, what I really like about it is that, you know, it's a fast stitch, and there we go. And it's, I like it. I like the way it looks. It's all crooked. It looks like a 6-year-old did it. Oh, that's a lot of fabric under there too. Okay. I have Dottie, my dog. She's underneath the table that I'm working on. She has her little her little basket, big basket. When she's in here with me, she has a place to lie down. Because in my bedroom, which she's usually there, she has her little bed. But she usually comes over here at night. She prefers staying here, or she'll go back and forth. Okay, so that was just cut like that. I didn't even secure the knot, but that's okay. You should secure the knot. Okay, let's see how that looks. When you're working with these things, I forgot to tell you guys, like before I stenciled it, I made sure that it was, you know, pretty much folded, and this was a straight edge, and then went ahead and stenciled it. And the same thing when you start appliquing your things on top of it. So that is going to go there. This is going to go here. Let me see this. Turn around. This can go in on the in the end. And these ones, okay, so I had this piece of that's going to go underneath. So this is another one that has to be attached. And this without even gluing it, because I'm not crazy about the glue on the laces, you guys, that are so fine like that. This, because it was covered up, but it'll get it even gets messy. That's the problem as well too, because you know, you start getting glue on your hands, and this really doesn't take much too. So I'm turning the edge again. I'm going to secure a couple of stitches underneath the lace. And like I said, don't worry about the you know, the strings and things that are hanging. You can cut them after or leave them. So this as well too. It doesn't need to be, you know, on into the fabric. Catch the baiting underneath. I'm not, like I have my finger here underneath the next page to make sure that the needle doesn't go through. Instead, when you're quilting, you want to make sure the needle has gone through. But I'm just catching the base, so you won't see anything on the other side. And if it just happens that it goes through, that's okay. Then again, you really don't need to use baiting if you don't want to, you know, because then when you're building up your pages, they can get pretty thick. Okay, now I'm wondering if I should just keep this here. I'm going to go underneath and come out. So I'm digging my needle in. This is what we do to end stitches as well too in quilting. So I'm putting my needle in just right beside where I'm coming out, and I'm moving my needle in between the baiting. I've gone through the baiting, but I'm in between the baiting and the bottom layer of my fabric here, and I'm going to come out just right beside, just where I think I'm going to be putting my next piece, so that way I can keep on using the same thread. And I'm just going to give it a little whip stitch just to anchor it there. Another one. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to just give it a little stitch here just to hold down this piece of lace, and then go back under. Okay, and then I'm going to go back under and come out where I think I would want my lace. The little doilies. Let me see where are they? I just lost them. Okay, little doilies, where are you? Give me a break. They're right here. Who saw that? Okay, so yeah, I think I'm going to, where am I with the needle? I think I'm going to come out and into the doily. And this as well too, I'm just going to give it a couple of stitches here and there And just to anchor everything down. And you can hardly see the thread. You really have to look close to, unless they're big, huge stitches. Just to anchor it down here and there. And what I'm going to do again is bring my needle in where it came out, where the thread came out, and I'm moving it underneath, in between the baiting and the fabric underneath again. So just so I could, making sure you don't do that. Oh dear, what happened here? Oh, this is why I hate sewing on videos. Okay, let me see if that worked. Give it another whip stitch here. I could go back after, yeah, something happened there, so I'm going to have to cut the the thread right here. My doily's curling up. Again, this I've secured with a couple of whip stitches going underneath and coming out somewhere around the middle of the next flower. So you got lots of thread running back and forth underneath the baiting. Okay. Now if the thread was long enough, I would have continued coming down for my next piece, which would be this. And I think I had a little doily underneath with a little bit of shimmer right there. Should I put it down here? Yeah, like that. Now I can attach these pieces together. What I would do here is just give it a little dab of glue. Oh gosh, these things are so hard to open. So I'm going to glue this, that, all the layers together, and that. And see how the glue comes through the fabric? And you have your hands all sticky. So that I would leave to dry. And my next piece would be the flower. And I thought I was going to put this down here as well too. Yeah, I'm going to try gluing that. Let me see if you could see that. There you go. And as well as, this is actually an Aleene's Turbo. So it should be sticking pretty fast, and these are all the threads from here. So now, last piece, and this I love that's hanging like this. I'm not sure up till now if I do want to put anything around here as in stitching to hold it down. I think I'm going to go with the glue, and I'm putting it where the stitching is, so that way you can't see it, and see how it holds down. I'm going to put some weight on top of this now, and then see in a couple of hours time how it is, if it, and like I said, you can go back and continue your pages and find other things that you want to put in. So the last thing that I would be putting is, where's my little butterfly that Salvina made me? She's my sewing partner. She is something else to for sewing. Like, come on, what other crazy person would sit there and start doing small little things like this? And you got to see the dolls she makes. They're just beautiful. Okay. This can be moved. I'm going to put it better But yeah, that would probably go, I would want it like that. So I'm going to take it out and try it in again. So that's my page, you guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope, you know, you get the, if you have any questions, ask me. Like I said, I can go back and secure most of this with thread. Here, I would probably, I don't know if I want thread showing through this. If it sticks well with the glue, I'm just going to leave it. And the only thing that I would want to do here is maybe on the butterfly wings, I can add some bling. I could still do much more with this page, you know, and have, you know, you can go as far as you want. Like you could stop right now and, you know, be happy with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next time, goodbye.